so it should work.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. So yeah, basically what I was saying is that, you know, it used to be a case that I would wait and, you know, earn happiness, and you know, it just didn't work for me. So what I try and do is like inject a little bit of joy into my everyday life. And I've made some notes for doing this, but I've never actually Googled what joy means before, but I did today, and actually the definition of joy is a feeling of great pleasure and happiness, and there's no reason that we can't feel that in our everyday life. And I think now more than ever, it's so important to feel happy where you can, and, you know, look for different things that make you feel happy. So like, joy for me is like really simple things, like when you go shopping and you get a really good parking space, or, you know, when your favourite product is on offer and it's really cheap, or, you know, just, I don't know, just finding things to kind of be happy and grateful for, you know. And with everything that's going on, and, you know, it's worrying times, so I feel like now more than ever it's so important to kind of be grateful for what we do have. I've made some notes. I've been told I've got to make this last for 20 minutes, so I'm just gonna waffle on. I'm so sorry about this.
Kirsty says hello.
Hi, Kirsty. Okay, so the components of joy. So the first thing that I would say is gratitude, like being grateful for things. I know that I'm really grateful for things at the moment that I would never normally be grateful for, like toilet roll. Like, we got toilet roll from the shop yesterday, and I don't think I've ever been so thankful for toilet roll before. Like, things that we normally take for granted. And pasta. Like, I've banned myself from portioning the pasta at home because I always cook too much and we just can't afford to waste it at the moment. And rice as well. Like, I'm really grateful for those things. And things like, at the moment, like it's spring, you know, all of the new flowers are coming out, and, you know, paying attention to things that you might, you know, when you're busy and you're in your head thinking, you know, what have I got to do today? You know, have I sent the kids to school with everything that they need, or what have I got to do at work? Like, you know, as people, we're so busy in our heads that we forget to notice the wonderful things that are around us. And, you know, at the moment daffodils are coming up, and, you know, all of the lovely flowers, and, you know, I try and just notice the things that are around me, like the colour of leaves. Like, sometimes leaves can be really lovely, like just noticing all the different colours, and, you know, the blossom coming out on the trees, and driving down the seafront at Southend some evenings, like the sunsets are so beautiful that you feel like you could be in, like, I don't know, Miami or something, or Ibiza, or, you know, just things like that. And it's things like that that we still have. You know, some of you might be self-isolating, some of you might, you know, be feeling unwell and might not be able to do the things that you would normally do, but, you know, those kind of things to do with nature and your surroundings, like, we still have that. You know, you can still go out in your garden and look at the sky and listen to the birds, and, you know, I don't know, I'm waffling. Things that have brought me joy at this present moment in time is kind of noticing how communities are coming together. I've recently just moved, so I've only lived in my house for like a month or two, but already I'm part of like a Facebook group for my road, and, you know, people have kind of identified themselves as things like, you know, as being like as self-isolating or being prepared to help, and, you know, we've kind of all identified ourselves on a map so that, you know, no one is going to go without, you know, no one that's on their own or, you know, not able to get out is going to miss out on food or prescriptions or anything like that. And I just think it's so wonderful to see how people are connecting with each other. You know, people are so busy these lives, and, you you know, it's so easy to just kind of keep your head down and go about your own business and make sure you're getting your own stuff done. But it's really lovely to see how people are reaching out to one another and really, I don't know, I've just got a real sense of like community spirit, you know, at work, at home, you know, down my road, you know, just in the car. I've been mindful to notice, you know, people knocking for elderly neighbours and kind of, you know, just making sure that they're all right and that sort of thing. I don't know, that's something that makes me feel quite joyful at the moment, is just kind of seeing how people are coming together and supporting each other and being there for each other. And, you know, these are anxiety-provoking times. We all have our blips and our moments. I had a moment the other day and I just thought, wow, what is going on? I feel like I'm living through a film at the moment, you know. And, you know, one of my colleagues was there for me and he gave me a talking to and I felt all right. And, you know, since then I've been able to be there for other people that might be having wobbles. And, you know, it's not easy. This is not easy to live through, but it's about kind of being there for each other and, yeah, just getting through it together. And we will get through it. We will get through it. You know, this country has seen difficult times before and we've got through it. And, you know, it's just, for me, it's about being aware of, you know, the things that I'm grateful for, the things that we still have. You know, there's a lot of focus at the moment on what we don't have, what we can't do, people not being able to get hold of kind of food items that they would normally have. And God, it's cold, I should have worn a coat. And not being able to go to the pub or the theatre or cinemas or all of these things that we would normally rely on to kind of keep us going. And actually I feel like something, you know, if anything good can come out of this, it's about kind of revisiting a more simple existence and being grateful for the things that we have, spending time with family, playing board games, you know, talking to each other. I feel like there's like this really weird mix at the moment of really kind of getting involved with all of this wonderful technology that we have to still connect with people, but also really going back to basics in terms of, you know, talking to people. Like, some people who are isolating, they've got a lot of time to kill, you know, so, you know, having conversations and, you know, just really kind of appreciating those simple things. So yeah, just looking at my notes. I think as well, it's really made me think about the things that we take for granted. Like, I'm really kind of more mindful now about the food items that we have at home and utilising the ingredients that we've got. And I'm desperately trying to think of like recipes that I can put together with the random tins that I've got in my cupboard and that sort of thing. And that's something that I know that I take for granted. Like, if I haven't got something, I'll just go out to the shop and get it, and that's not something really that we can do too much at the moment. So it's really making me appreciate kind of what I have and being resourceful. And, you know, I think we've got a lot of the time we've got a lot more than we think we have. So yeah, I think it's just about making the best of what we've got and realising that we've got a lot more than we think we have. Okay, so creating joy. So purposeful joy. Joy doesn't always present itself. Sometimes when things are tricky, it can be difficult to notice things that we're grateful for or feel joyful or happy or things like that. So, you know, and I get days like that as well. So I try and be purposeful about creating joy in my life. People that know me will know that I like to ask questions. Random questions like, you know, what is your top 3 favourite cheeses? You know, I'd love to find out about people and I love to ask questions, and I've noticed that it normally revolves around food, which is weird. I'm trying to work on that, but I really like finding out about people. And, you know, what's beautiful about this planet and this world is that we're all different. You know, we all have things that are similar and you know, things that we have in common, but everyone is so unique and beautiful and different, and I love to find out about people. That really brings me joy. So I apologise if, you know, you're one of my friends or you work with me and you have to put up with my incessant questions. That is me creating space for joy in my heart. spending time with animals. Like, guys, if you've got pets at home, like, I am such an animal lover, and it brings me so much joy to spend time with my pets, and almost like create like little personalities in, like, pets obviously do have personalities, but I like to create, like, I don't know, little lives for them. Like, I imagine what jobs they'd have, what their voice would sound like if they could talk. Like the chickens over there, they've all got different personalities and different, you know, one of them, I imagine that she does yoga, because sometimes I'll go in there and she'll be standing on one foot and she'll have a wing kind of spread out, and I like to imagine that she's doing a yoga every morning. We're looking after one of the work guinea pigs at the moment, and his name is Godwin, and I think that is a fine name for a guinea pig. But it really makes me laugh because it's quite a posh name, so I imagine that he's like a posh guinea pig, and I keep, you know, talking to him, telling them that I'm going to get him like a broadsheet for the bottom of his cage so that he can, you know, have a good read. And I imagine him with like a monocle on one eye, and I don't know, it's just the fantasy worlds that I create in my head bring joy. Yeah, so also the way that I try and purposely create joy in my life is doing things for no reason. Like, as adults, you know, we're so kind of driven by doing what we feel that we should do, or, you know, getting stuff done, getting to the bottom of our to-do list, you know, pleasing people, that we don't often do things just for the sake of it. And I think, you know, if you think of like children, they are quite joyful creatures. They don't think too much about things, generally speaking. And, you know, I try and kind of get, you know, if I need a bit of a joy infusion, I try and kind of do things just for the sake of it, like colouring. I recently, you know, mindfulness colouring is quite big, you know, at the moment, and I'm a big advocate of it. It helps to take your mind off anything that you might be worried about. But I recently bought myself a Disney princess colouring book, so not a mindful one, a Disney princess one, and I am loving it because it just reminds me of being a child and focusing on nothing other than not going over the lines, and what colour the dress of the princess is, and what colour lipstick is she going to wear, and that sort of thing. And singing out loud to my favourite song, you know, like putting my favourite song on and just try and do this in the car when I'm on my own, so that I don't have to subject my family to this, but like putting on one of my favourite songs and just singing at the top of my voice, getting it all out, that makes me feel really joyful. Anything that takes you out of your head. So one thing that I wanted to kind of just leave you with, if anyone's self-isolating, or they are, you know, wondering how they can, you know, wondering how you can kind of make more room for joy in your life. One of the biggest things for me is being grateful, and something that I started doing a while ago is every day I would write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. So, you know, on the first day it might be I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for my house, I'm grateful that I have food in the fridge. But the trick is that every day you have to think of 3 new things that you're grateful for. So the second day, it's still not too tricky. I might say, oh, you know, I'm grateful for my car, or I'm grateful for my friends, or, you know, I'm grateful that I have a job. But the more you do this, if you're thinking of something different every day, you have to kind of scrape the barrel a little bit to think of new things that you're grateful for. So, you know, it ended up that I would constantly be looking for things that I could put on my gratitude list. And when you do that, you kind of look at the world with kind of fresh eyes. So yeah, that's a little challenge for you. If anyone feels like they need more gratitude in their lives, or, you know, if you feel like you need more joy and you want to feel joy and happiness, then try that, because I promise you there is so much to be grateful for and happy about when you really look for it. So yeah, I don't know if anyone's actually watching this. I've told the guys in the office that they have to watch it, just because I was really nervous, and I thought, how awful if no one actually watches this. I don't know, is it awful? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's better if no one's watching it.
They're watching.
So I just want, just for my own joy, was wondering if anyone is watching, if maybe you want to have a think about what brings you joy, what makes you happy, and just pop a comment underneath the video, because I'd really like to know, just for my own well-being and my own joy, like what's making you happy, in these really tough times. What are you grateful for, or what is warming your cockles, what's putting a smile on your face. So yeah, pop a message in the comments for me. Thank you.
You do have a question, actually.
Oh, okay, I have a question. This is very exciting.
So Kirsty has actually asked if you have got Godwin with you at the moment.
No, I don't have Godwin with me at the moment. So he is currently in my garden. So because it's winter, we haven't mown the lawn yet, and I've heard that guinea pigs really like grass. So my plan is to move his enclosure to a different space each day, so that once this is all blown over and he's back at his normal home in Shoebury, my grass will be nice and short. But he's having a lovely holiday. We're so excited to have him. We were looking on the telly for G-Force last night. Has anyone watched the film G-Force? I loved that film. It's about guinea pigs. So we had him, I was holding him last night, giving him a cuddle in front of the telly, and we were going to put G-Force on for him to watch before bed. But we couldn't find it. Well, it was on the Sky Store, but I'm sure we've got the DVD somewhere. So yeah, he's having a lovely holiday so far. We brought him in to sleep. We weren't going to, we were going to leave him outside because the nights are fairly mild. So we were going to leave him outside in his enclosure, but I just couldn't stop thinking about him. So we brought him in, and he spent last night in my daughter's bedroom. Very cosy in his little log cabin. That brought joy. That brought joy to me last night, that I realised that Godwin's home is like a little log cabin, and it really reminded me of like the log cabin that the hub is now in. So I sent a little picture on WhatsApp to my other hub friends, and I think they found it quite amusing as well. So no, Godwin is not with me at this present moment in time, but I am documenting his little holiday to my house, and I will send some pictures to Georgia so that you can all see what he's up to.
Want me to read you more comments?
Yes, please. Yes, read me some comments.
Okay, so
not if they're saying shut up. Sorry, that's enough.
They
now.
wouldn't possibly. Okay, so Linda King said, "Good morning, Victoria."
Good morning, Linda.
I agree with your appreciation of simple things. We do have responsibility to keep an eye on our next door neighbours and contact our elderly/disabled friends and family.
Absolutely.
Okay, from Kim Locker. It's a joy to work with you with a love heart.
Ah, thanks, Kim.
Charlotte says, challenge accepted. What brings me joy is ticking off little jobs that needed to be done, like repotting houseplants or cleaning out the... Sorry, Charlotte, I can't get your comment to load at the moment. I'll try and come back to it.
Guys, that's the thing. Like, if anything positive can come out of this, do those jobs that you've been meaning to do. Repot those plants, make them all nice, clean your cupboard under the stairs, spend time with your family. Like, I am the worst for like being so caught up in my head of everything that I need to do that I kind of forget the life that is around me. My dad had this really good phrase, which was like, life is what happens when you're busy planning something else, and it's so true. But if anything good is to be taken from this, it's spend time with the people that you love, and get those jobs done that you've been meaning to do. Like, we've just moved house and I've got so much still to unpack. So if I am isolated, if I do have to spend time at home, I'm going to get all my boxes unpacked. Yeah, Charlotte, do those plants.
So we'll finish on these last comments then. They're both from Kim Locker. I've noticed friends and family have gone old school and are now phoning, talking instead of messaging, and that brings joy. Also, can we see Godwin's holiday photos?
Yes, you absolutely can. I'd be able to see him on his little deck chair in the garden, or sunbathing on a towel. I try and I'll make sure that he has a nice holiday. So the last thing that I wanted to say was, like, for those people that would usually utilise all of our different services, be it the hub or counselling or the recovery college, we have so many things that we would normally do, and this is weird. It's a weird situation, you know. And not being able to be kind of face to face with our service users, that's as difficult for us as it is for you. But what I did want to say is that we are still here for you. We are absolutely still here. And, you know, that might take a different form than it would normally. You may not be able to just kind of pop in or put around the garden, but, you know, we can still call you, we can Skype, you know, there's going to be loads of material on social media, Facebook. You know, we are still here for you, so please don't feel alone. Please don't feel isolated. Reach out to us. We're still here. Pick up the phone. They're going to be manned by someone. You know, we'll take it in turns. If one of us goes down, there'll still be, you know, people here answering the phones, and, you know, you're not alone. We're still here.